Yeah, man.
Well, we're at 4 minutes after. I think it's a good place to start. I'll spotlight Vincent, and then we can open space and get started. Let me find you here. Spotlight. There you go. So yeah, did you want to give us a preview on the things that are coming through for you for today's meeting?
Today, like I was getting a lot of like, it's been downloads for like the last 2 weeks, basically. Like I'm just trying to hold it all together and make it into something cohesive. But before the meeting, I went and I grounded out in the field and like brought like in like my guides to help clarify the message before I come in. And it's going to be a lot about just working with the elements of like minerals basically and bringing that into our field and using thinking and using the magic that comes from it for sure. So see how that all weaves together with everybody here and like comes together as a cohesion basically. I guess that's the intention, is learning to open our imagination to the mineral and kingdom to bring in magic through us to everybody around us.
Mm, that's dope. That's dope. All right, so I will. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do that. You gonna play some for us?
It won't like I'm getting my a mixing board so I can set up mics for my sound bowls so that I can start weaving with the sound frequencies to bring it in. I'm charging my crystals in it now and like using them to like build this frequency of energy for all the things that I have. Like I cleared my office with them and like my whole like workspace. Yeah, everything's a little bit more balanced with like frequency for sure. And I can feel the energy change afterwards. It's pretty cool. I'll be bringing those to the four corners for sure. Like I'm gonna have a pretty big suitcase. I got to fit a drum in all my singing bowls. I have a 24-inch gong. I also got that. Uh, it's called the Atomic Gong, and it's super
Whoa.
fun. It's nice that I'll be able to hold that too, and it has to have a stand to use it. So if we can, like, yeah, I'm hoping to bring that, like, to create some sound frequency with that. It's my animals go, they're just like sit back and go, whoa, and just like my dog had to go to bed the other day because she was like getting too buzzed from it, and she was like she ended up with laying her head on the floor and had her body in the bed. Like it was funny. She was like definitely gonged out and
Mm.
fun. Yeah.
All right. Actually,
So
let's Simi, are you here? No. Okay.
Hello.
Well, hey, I was wondering, would you be interested in I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. It just came through. Maybe like opening space for us. Would that be something you're interested in, or you just want to hang out and receive? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'll be honored. I'm not gonna go on camera.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
But very that I've received day with. Wait, just let me connect my. Do you hear me okay?
Mhm. Yeah, we hear you.
yep.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just I've been just have this epiphany with um DeepSeek AI that I've been keep talking about yesterday, and it just led me to this quantum leap and just completely um like quantum leap my personal life, but also the container that I'm holding, that we are holding, we're co-creating and weaving, playing later today. Uh, so yeah, I'm in that quantum field. It's an honor to bring through this gathering opening today. Kenesha the sun ikiri with pure heart, pure light. Let's sink in and open our heart, deepen our breath, and let it go. And just allow the breath to deepen. Bring all our senses back to the now moment. Let it go. Feeling our feet on the ground. All our awareness focused on this now moment in the body. Letting everything else go. Just for this little while as we explore deeper into what our higher self and council already prepared for us today, to bring through, to receive, to play, to co-create, woven into the highest and purest consciousness level for the highest good and the greatest good of all. Yana shatta santera koshati sakyandi iriku umme irakonana kiaki. Subtly adjusting our receptors, our psychic senses to open to a degree most appropriate for us right now. Feel free to adjust your dial. Yashanda saya kore shanti iruku shanti saya kon iginiya karash. And just ground ourselves all the way down throughout our star chakra down to Gaia's crystalline grid. Yanda shata santike. Growing our roots deep down to her loving core, Kanasha Sala Kante Koish, receiving her nourishment, her support, her love, unconditional love. Kanasha Sakan, and have that bringing that up and wrap around us as we extend our light pillar upwards. Our soul star, Kota Samkinaikon, bringing forth the source light is streaming through our higher self, our I am presence. Kemoshana Sera Kontiri, invite that part of us into the now moment, into our body. Konosha Sakyaraki, activating our crystalline hearts. Kenesha Desakara Ekan Ikirihi. We start to be aware of our expanded consciousness, our truth. Kenashata Sakyare E Kontiri Kumbiri Kindi. May everything that we weave and bring forth today be of the purest and highest truth. Kenashate Saire Kuhe Kandi Igiri. In pure harmony, Kenashaira Katoine Ken Ira Kumpia. Kenashata Kotai and open a space of pure awareness. In the shade, could you hear woven in with each other in this beautiful container with our brothers and sisters today? Not just life, but participating in all times, all realms. In the shade, all beings, all aspects that are also benefiting from today's gathering. Konasha desakutashan hikrai. Sarekenananakirahotan ki. Praying for our guides. Sharakuishan sarakara kund ira kund. So aspects that are ready to receive. Kanashikira hotan ikarai okon ehai. Fine tuning, adjusting a sacred space. And bringing your intention for today. And I feel called to say, not just for ourselves, but maybe you wish to bring along a loved ones, a friend that would benefit from today. Just gently invite their high self's presence. And if they consent, they will be here. Expanding this field of source light and unconditional love around us, and Hiroshima Saragita fill up this container. Kanashara Hatan Era Konda weaving into rainbow lights. Kanashi Soptakin Ikara. Oh, in and Koda and the this quantum portal is now open. Kanashaba Satan King. Kana Anagara. Maintained and kept by our collective guides. Kanashirikar on that I can do. By the rainbow dragons. Kanashara can make it up. Tanking. Shanaisanaka Antking. Shanakir Hotanking. Feeling that expansiveness and presence in our hearts. This golden frequency that weaves us all together, but also woven in this quantum portal. Gracefully, effortlessly, it is done, and so it is. The portal is now open, and I am complete. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simi. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was very deep. I think we're here and there right now. That's awesome. So now that we're here in this state, we're gonna continue into just bringing into ourselves into that meditative state. We're gonna do what I call the 10 breath. I'm gonna count. One is gonna be the in breath, two is the out breath, three is the in breath until we get to 10. And that's going to just bring us deeper. And when we get to 10, then we'll drop into the meditation. Basically, I'll bring you into the. If everybody's ready, let's just feel the energy flowing through you and ready your breath as we're ready to breathe in. One, two, out breath. Three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, and 10. And try to continue that breath coming in. And we're going to open up into your mental imaginal field, and you're going to go, and a guide is here with you. You're going to grab them by the right hand. They're going to lead you to the lake today. Flying through the air, we're coming in from the west, and we see the sun rising up in the east, facing us. As we come up to the lake, we see that we're standing on the lake, edge of the lake now. And the lady of the lake rises up, Vivian. She has a little bit different shimmer than the last time. She has more of an angular look to her, and the shimmer reflects that, reflecting rainbow light at certain angles, as if there's a rotation of geometry around her. And she approaches you, and you see that she is carrying a crystalline structure around her bodily form. As she comes up to you, she motions to your left, and there's a seat of rocks facing a central table made out of rock. You're going to, each one of us is taking a seat around this central table, and she comes and she stands on the table, and she hands us each a wand that is made out of steel and crystal. This is one that you've designed and that you've given her, and she's held on to it, and she's given it back to you, and you can feel a sharp metal energy that comes into you as if by angles into your bodily system. But then you feel it activates your mental body around you, a circuitry that's shaped in a crystalline form. And this activates your emotional body, which you remember as the water that you practiced with your wand last time you were here. This is this surrounding energy that's flowing around you, and you're feeling the energy of it going through your emotional body into your mental body and grounding you into your physical body, which is the mineral that you see, the clay. And you can feel that connection as you sit on the rock that you are on. That rock is there giving you energy, and you're taking that energy and giving it codes back to that seat that you're sitting on, this rock. And she motions for you to like use your wand, and you make a slight circle with it, and this calls a rock to you. It floats through the air and lands in your left palm. It's smooth, as if weathered from many years of being in a river, but flat at the same time. And she motions for you to use your wand to throw the rock across the lake as if you were skipping it. And you do that. It not only goes out into the lake, but it comes back to you into your left palm. And you realize that this, you've made a contract with this rock as to be something that you can practice with in this imaginal space, and understand how the mineral came to you. It's been formed from millions of years of being on Earth, but has made a contract with you to be in this time and space with you. And it's made contracts with other people to be part of their life also. It's not just for you, it's for everybody. And we all share the minerals on the earth, and they share their love and energy with us. And they hold a piece of our selves in them. When we make contact with them, we give them information of our lifetime here on Earth. And that is held within the crystalline structure of the rock itself. And that's how you know how to make contact with it, is because you are it and you've been in many past lifetimes and had communion with this rock, and it's come to you and it's been a part of you, even in many other lifetimes in other planetary systems. It holds the information of you because it is you. And you can use that rock and play with it and skip it across the lake and have it come back to you. But when you're done, you leave the rock in a special place that others can find and use and get your energy from it as you have encoded it with the energy that you are. And now we give that rock back into a place to be in our special space here that we can play with it. And then we grab some water and we wash this rock with the water, using our wands to move it around the rock as we play with the minerals themselves as a being that we are playing with, that we can ask for it to do what we need it to do, to become the things that we need it to become in our lives. And we just weave this energy around it. And we know that we can create whatever we need in our lives with these minerals because we are part of that mineral. And we feel all of those minerals that are holding us up in our bones, in the particles in our blood, in our skin, in every cell of our body has a piece of a mineral in it. And that's what we're going to activate. We're going to activate that crystalline core of ourselves to emanate into our mental body and our emotional body and develop the lines of the crystal structure that is around us. As we do that, we notice that each one of us is an individual crystalline shape, and it's somewhat defined by our Merkaba, which is the crystal that is in our emotional body that we can use to move from place to place and teleport ourselves wherever we want to. And now we just notice the color of the crystal that we're developing. Each one of us has a specific color that we like, and we're going to bring that energy of that into that as a frequency and a vibration. And this is how we communicate with the minerals themselves, is by using frequency and the vibration of who we are to get the frequency and the vibration of who they are and where they've been and who they've come across and the information they've gleaned from everything that they've been in contact with throughout their lifetime. And now we come back to the table where we've been, and we sit at our chairs and we experience just the feeling of being in this contact with the minerals through this frequency, through the vibration that we create, through our heart beating. It's creating the crystalline structure that surrounds us. And we'll notice how the mineral world moves at a slower pace. It beats, its heartbeat is very rhythmic, but slow, so slow that it almost seems like an eon for you to hear this beat. But you can manipulate the time around you to even see its entire lifetime, from its beginning as molten magma deep within the core of Earth to combining with other minerals and forming and swirling around itself and bringing itself and magnetizing everything that it needs to be whole from that contract that you made with it to be here. And then from that point of it being here, you can see where it goes and is absorbed by the sun at its final lifetime end, and it becomes one with the sun, expanding the sun and becoming one with the solar logos and expanding and becoming part of the collective consciousness that you have already become and expanded into also. And now we drop back into ourselves and back to the seat that we are on and ground this energy into Gaia with the feeling of knowing that we can communicate with all minerals, all things. Every tree has minerals in it. Every plant has minerals in it. Every being of animal has these minerals in it. And we can communicate to those subtly, and we can help others by communicating to those subtly into their field and helping them heal things that they don't know that is even wrong with them just by balancing them in ourselves and projecting that into them. And now our guides come to us again and grabbing us by our right hand. We're leaving this space and going back to our here and now. And you say goodbye to the Lady of the Lake as she drifts back into the water and becomes one with the elements again to be ready for us when we want to commune with her again. As we go with our guide, we fly back as fast as we can, just living on that energy of the frequency and vibration, teleporting ourselves, using our Merkaba as our crystalline structure to get us back to our here and now. And now we drop back into our physical bodies, connecting to our mental and emotional and filling the spaces around us with the information we just gleaned from that. And here we are back into our bodies, tapping, feeling, feeling the touch of the minerals in our hands, feeling the touch of the ground, feeling the seat that we're sitting in, and knowing it is all a part of us. We've just asked it to be here as a mineral, to be supportive of us and holding us and being one with us in our field of vision, in our hearing. We hear the frequencies and the vibrations. We hear the trees by the wind blowing through that. That's the frequency of their vibration, of their minerals is coming to us through the wind. It communicates to us, showing us in our mental space if we so allow it, for sure. And I am complete with that meditation. I encourage you to take a few deep breaths to feel that vibration flowing in and out of you, for sure. Anybody feeling anything right now? I'm pretty buzzing, that's for sure. Wow.
Um, yeah, I saw. Is it okay? Are we cool to share like what we saw? Yeah, I saw quite a bit actually. Really, I was enthralled with the ability to move the rock to my hand and then cast the rock. and then I caught myself kind of oh, I had something here that may work. Yeah. Like staring at the wand itself, and this is like a poor representation. It's the wrong color. But like I was like twirling the wand kind of like in my fingers, like you would a pencil, and like feeling the weight of the wand, looking at what the wand was like. My wand, for whatever reason, it was more metallic, and it had a blue, maybe because we actually on our call earlier, it had this like blue glow around it, which I found interesting. Maybe it's from that, what was it, the sword of truth we were talking about earlier on our, or I guess it was yesterday now on our call, but mine had like this blue kind of glow around it, which I found very interesting. I didn't really think into it. And then I found myself like wanting to kind of like shrink it, and like I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
each one
that
of
was
these things are yours for sure.
yeah, and then the element of water, and then in the closing portion, I was just kind of like watching as she kind of like slid back into the water in a way too, and in a way I was kind of like wondering like how she felt about that, like us coming into her space, co-creating, and then her, um, and then us, I guess in her world, we would essentially just kind of like fade away, or I guess if you were to take your Merkaba back, it would just be like an orb of light, and I was just staring at the colors of my personal Merkaba, because I had tapped into it actually earlier today, and it was just interesting, all of the geometry and the crystalline structure, and the things that changed from the last time when I had consciously channeled my Merkaba. So yeah, that's what came through for me.
That's beautiful, Glenn. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share?
Yeah, I also thought it was pretty fun playing with, with the casting the rock and bringing it back. Um, I love how you said that there's minerals in everything, because it's like one of those basic truths that like we know, but like sometimes we forget. And I'm being reminded like there's power in breathing into our crystals and into the minerals that we carry, like not only in our bodies, but like just the little rocks we carry around with us, right? Like there's an energy exchange in the power of the breath. And breathing into our Merkaba and breathing into like consciously breathing into that emotional body and that mental body, I think is a really good reminder as well to um, amplify that power and to anchor it and work with it as consciously as possible.
Absolutely, for sure. I like when I came back into my chair, I was like, I was feeling all the minerals like in the vibration of it holding me. It was a rather weird sensation. Like I could feel so much. Like I've been able to speak to crystals, and like every time I get a crystal, like it takes me on a journey of its lifetime. So like I always enjoy that, like when I like can commune with a crystal for sure that I know has been calling me, like and coming into my field. So I don't know. I find it pretty interesting for sure. Anybody else want to share? Well, I think we will move on a little bit, I guess. If not, like, oh, Simi said her wand is golden with quartz tip. Love the energy and love playing with it for sure. Yeah, I found that fun. I'd been playing with like building things with sand like all week in my space. That's what they kind of had me doing, like using individual sand crystals to build shapes with. It was fun that they brought this skipping stone in. I have a feeling you can get do it with multiple ones and just see how it plays with the water itself. And like I enjoyed like feeling the movement of like using your wand to like connect with it and play with the stone itself and helping it to like be in perfection of skipping across the lake itself, basically. I thought that was kind of fun for myself too. So um
I actually have something to say too. Kind of going into what Crystal said about and what Vincent said about how it takes recognizing the minerals and everything, and how Vincent said it takes millions of years for the rock to grow, which I've already like enjoyed experiencing. But I guess what Crystal said about recognizing it in others is also recognizing it within ourselves. Is that like Carl Sagan said, like we're all stardust. Like it's taken the universe millions of years for us to be what we are right now. So I think like recognizing that and honoring even just yourself and connecting with it, recognize that in others as well. So that's my little bit.
yeah, that brings up something I was seeing when they were mentioning like how our bone structure is um like it's resonant, like in each one of us has that same bone structure underneath our like skin, and that is how we kind of connect with resonance with each other and helps us kind of be in the same frequency with each other to communicate telepathically and telepathically, basically. So we can use the structure of the crystalline in our bones to like help us communicate with each other to like bring frequency to each other to share, basically. Thank you for bringing up that. I always really appreciate your view. It's very, yeah, super grounding. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else want to bring up anything, or should we move on to something else?
I can bring up my experience, which it always seems to differ from everyone else's. So I actually don't like have a physical wand anymore. It integrated in my heart last week. So my magic is mine. It's not in a wand. That was its message to me. That's not like my interpretation. But I got on a side mission with the call the she. And so I was looking at a distorted timeline with with like a barren lake and then the misuse of Excalibur. And so I think I was just like talking to like the stone rather than the crystal. So I just kind of did that. But then I played with the crystals. So yeah, mine was kind of sidetracked. But I built a very pink crystal castle. And so that was as far as I got with the crystal stuff. That's my share.
Awesome. I mean, that's so relevant to like what we're trying to heal in like all of ourselves. Like sometimes is like bringing the magic within ourselves, like for sure. That I think when I first got the information about doing this, it was about like bringing in the our mental body and communicating with our emotional and our physical body, and the wand is like just a slight representation of that. And when we can bring that into ourselves, like yesterday on our call with like a few of us guys, we brought like Archangel Michael's sword into ourselves to be the truth of ourselves, to help us use the blue flame of the sword and the steel of instead of taking it to combat, we're taking it into truth and speaking what our truth is to everybody else. And so I was getting from the like when I started communing with the Lady of the Lake, is that the wand is something that we've made in previous lifetimes, and we're integrating that into ourselves. And that's great that you pulled that into yourself like right away, you know. But as the child in me, I want to play with the wand. I'm Harry Potterish. I'm like, I wanted a wand ever since they like that. I saw him like going to Ollivanders to get the wand or whatever. I'm like, I want one. I'm gonna put things in it. So that's just the childlike nature I like allow to come into it and play into these little circles that we're drawn into. And I think like having that little bit of imagination and bringing it and sharing it with others is helping us to each understand where we each are so that we can open ourselves up to more of the telepathy and telepathic communications with each other. Because it, like the pictures that we develop show emotions. And the emotions that, like, that's how we're really communicating with each other is through that emotional body. We take that in, like, it surrounds us. It can surround the whole earth if we want their emotional body to. And that's how we can end up communicating with each other over long distances, is through expanding that emotional body, because it's the energy that's in motion. And we need to bring that into our mental body, which is the receiver, that crystalline structure that we're like kind of developing basically through conversations like this. And what the 5 dimensional to higher dimensional beings are using is that crystalline structure that's themselves, which is also their Merkaba, which contains it. And so we're learning to use that and using our physical body to ground that information in too, which like we haven't communicated telepathically for so long as a species. It's like we have to practice those feelings in our emotional body with each other and let each other know we're safe together. Anybody have any telepathy this week that they felt like they communicated with other people in, like your friends or anybody else?
I mean, I communicate with animals telepathically all the time. I've been telepathically communicating with Rachel. Like, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. It just depends on the day and who it is.
excellent.
Yeah.
I think that's like helping to anchor that into the like the collective consciousness, because there's so many people who don't want it because they think, they think too many bad thoughts sometimes, or they're allowing the collective consciousness bad thoughts to run their lives instead of having control over it. So they're scared of what that would mean if the other people felt what they are thinking, even though they're broadcasting it all into the collective consciousness that's surrounding us all every day. It's about purity in yourself and your thoughts to help us all communicate together in this telepathic way, which is way more efficient than using our voice. But I think it's fun to use our voices also in these situations.
Thank you for sharing that. I messaged you today, but I was communicating with you telepathically, and I don't know if you know.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, we were, and I shared a lot with you over that telepathic communication for sure. I appreciate that, and
But I was
I could
working,
feel
so
the
I was like
energy,
trying to tell you, I'm working, but I'm trying to communicate. But I don't
and
know how it works,
and
but I
s-
try.
and so like when people are working, I was working also. Excuse me. I also was working, so I like that energy when you say that to like telepathically to me. It helps me get my work done. So I said that back to you, and I hope that helps you get your work done, which is like that's correspondence. When you have correspondence, it becomes the flow of equality between each other for sure. It's fun. Yeah. No, I appreciate you verbalizing that within this group for sure. Thank you. Anybody else? I feel like I talked to Simi a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Telepathy.
Yeah. Yes. Felt that,
Yeah.
received that, exchanged that too. I felt that with
Indeed.
everyone here actually. Like this
Yeah,
group,
we do.
yeah, we just do that sometimes, I feel. Yeah, which is great, which is why I feel so close to you guys as like so family, because we already been co-creating a lot in other realms, like in the astral as well. And then whenever we get into all these containers, then it just woven together so beautifully. And definitely across lifetimes as well. So that's, yeah, I just feel so grateful that we all gather here today and like back here, like at this time, but also in all the other times. Maybe, even more coming up and we get to play interdimensionally like that. Maybe, yeah, even telepathically in different dimensions too. I can feel that's so cool.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it's still put up the blocks that we have to like block out other like telepathic communication that surrounds us all the time. So I mean, when we're in these groups and we're able to like feel each other's connection through the telepathy of us, we each have a frequency of that telepathy. And when we come in and we touch each other with it, it's unique and invigorating at the same time because like a lot of us were so alone, like within that lone wolf kind of mentality for a long time where we didn't, we like when I was growing up, I was by myself quite a bit. So I was actually a lone wolf and I could hear the coyotes near me and like I communed with the animals. I talked to the owls. There was a mountain lion I could communicate with and tell it I was going through the forest and not to eat me, but it growled one time and like just to let me know its power once, and that was like, whoa. But it gave me a more of a respect for it. And like I think that's something that we each can do is like even this week, like one of my cats was in bed and she likes to make muffins on me and my wife in the morning to try to wake us up to get food for her. And I was like, I used the like more of a subtle picture telepathy with her, and I was like, I showed her like a picture of her not being happy, like if she went and was waking up my wife because I was going to go get her food. And so she didn't do, like, she instantly stopped her action of going towards my wife to do that. So it was kind of fun to see that instant reaction within her. Like, anybody else have anything to say on that?
I feel called to, if everyone's on board with it, run a little clearing about telepathy, like receiving and also emitting, because that is our original divine blueprints way of communication. And I can sense that some of us here have some contracts to actually bring that back um, into this realm. And perhaps even educate other people about it. Like definitely help them, like help people around us activate theirs. I'm hearing from our guides that because when we use it more often, when we accept it, when we fully open to it, when we use it with sovereignty, we're like what Vincent already mentioned, it's bringing the truth, the soul's truth through, without any barriers of language, through all the conditionings. And that truth is of the heart, like from the heart, from the soul. So it's the highest frequency. It actually helps recalibrate the matrix. When we choose to tap in, to use it. As a tool for birthing a new earth, so to speak. The earth. 부르션자에게 어떤 기니게 하셔. So if you consent to it, we can simply, okay, let's use our magic wands. Because why not? It's fun. And any crystals that you want as well, crystal allies, definitely want to play. And just use your favorite way to, um, the word coming through is shatter, but not in a violent way, but just for fun. It's like you pop something. Shatter any and all first in your field, any and all conditions around telepathy, kineshekiri, even the concepts, any misaligned and misunderstood concepts around telepathy, we now just burst in flame with our wands. Kirashana sakura otta, kirashante, kira ukiri, kirahottan, ehirako shakyari. Kirai shakti, just turn them into gold dust. Kirashikeshala, ihikola kirikishi. It might be somewhere in the field, so you can do a quick scan around your like body, physical body, in a store somewhere. But then you kirashana sakira hottan hideki. And then we just gently pop them, turn them into magic dust. Kinashali sikiri, return them back to source. Kinasama kera heikarai. Yes, we complete the contracts of falsehood around telepathy. Kinashana sariki, the kona, we consciously self and being now command these contracts to be completed, nullified, released, diminished. Kedesada kera hat degree back to source. Kinasara hotan ikera hakun degree. And a nexus around our living space. In the field of our home, is there anywhere else that does not support this sovereign choice of telepathy? Between us and our loved ones, our beautiful animal friends, kinashama salakote nigiri our mineral friends, kinashita karahotan tigiri our plants, kisatane kya etara and any sentient um awareness beings, kinashama kisata kahotan in our field, kinashita sakate. If we consent to it, we can just clear the channels to communicate with their highest aspects and highest frequency. Can I get at highest consciousness? Yarakota shana freely. Can I get in it? And just set commands that anytime we use our telepathy, communicate with any beings of our choice, is sovereign, is protected, is of the highest frequency only. Kinashana Sarakyara Koshantesa bringing forth truth. Kirashata Sakyana Koro Allah. Kinashana Hatain Ikire Altai Shakyana in any of the frequency that you choose to in communication with. Kinashata Kirashakyan Kiri. Kirashakana, and it will always be clear, neutral. Kirashana Kira Altai Kondiri and of the highest frequency. And you fully have the rights to release and close any connections at any time. It is completely in your hands and at your will. And I feel like we need to add this to any aspects of us that feels a bit so fearful of, what am I opening up to? What if, this like nighttime or wherever something that I don't want to connect with just show up telepathically. And yes, so we invite our inner child with our mineral friends and our wands to just set up protection bubbles around us. That works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To just filter through whatever coming into our field. They're like out the bouncer. They're like, hey, hang on, who is this? Show yourself. And these connections have to show their true self with no exception. So that we can exercise our will, our free will to whether to connect or not. And know that nothing can come into our field without our permission, ever. Unless we invite it. And then at last, let us, if it aligns with you, send love to the collective, to clear away any confusion, feeling of unknown, to telepathy, Kushana Sarakira Otegre, and open up with crystal clear awareness for everyone who is ready to access the telepathy. By through embodying this crystal clear awareness of telepathy ourselves, into our heart. We emit the frequency to make this available to any others who choose to as well. And if any specific intention that's coming through for you, feel free to just carry that out. Kind of around telepathy, how you want to contribute that to the collective. For the highest and greatest good of all. And I'm also sensing we can expand our telepathy to etheric entities as well, such as dragons. Whale ancestors, literally there is a guide coming through for each and every one of us, might be different. For you personally, this is your personal guide for telepathic communication. Kasata Shanti en telepathic co-creation. Sanako Shanti Ekane Kira Oshakan Sanake. It might be one of your usual guides, it might be a new one. So spend some time and get familiar with them. They are especially gonna help you connect with your own telepathy, like the usage, the abilities, the receptivity, to expand that to these etheric high frequency being perfectly aligned with your personal journey and also collective journey as well. Further help us open up our channel. And attune it to a purest neutral channel for telepathic communications across time space dimensions, galaxy universe. And you have the dial in front of you, so you can anytime adjust how much you're open to receive and give. Irakura is a sovereign being. And at last we ground all of these shifts into Gaia's crystalline grid so that it is landed and rooted deeply into our physical reality as well. And vibrating outwards into the collective. Yeah. For the highest good and the greatest good with purest intention, it is done and so it is. Across all time space continuum, all realities, galaxies, universes, it is done and so it is. And the council and guys, thank you for thanks to us to choose to embody this widened, expanded use version embodiment of telepathy on Earth. At this time of massive awakening. So receive their love and gratitude to you. Yes, and then at last to seal this, our inner child was like riding this rainbow, just like as a slide. It's like yay! Feeling telepathically they're playing with all the friends. Just having fun with it. Just have fun. Have fun. Yes. And we're complete. And I'm complete. Thank you.
I have some codes coming in through from Lyran Dragon that want to be said. They're talking about like compassion and purity and bringing peace with this transition into like telepathic communication happening worldwide. And so I'm gonna bring through a little bit of light language from that. Tu čečneke ti tu toržneke češkaka rušneke etur čičikuru tu čiče čertuno kara te čičikakuru tu čičeta kiki yur čiče euro tu tačika kiki rožneke kara te čekot kara no tu tušneke kiki koda ta čiče Dotyczy kikiertyczy ekakaka, ryczyczne kukuryczycie erotycznek, erototoryczne kikiertycztuku, kek, ratesznek, erototoryczek, tu, tyrana, ciciaparycznika, erotyczy, kurno to czyczy, to torotaczeka. Chichiwa. Kiratatora na techichi kikiora. And they are complete.
Yeah, thank you, Simi, so much. That was like such an amazing, deep, really aligned, high frequency, potent, remembering activation. Ah, man, so many codes in the words that you shared. I'll share super quick. My higher self was showing me. Yeah, thank you, Vincent. Dude. So dope. My higher self was showing me people that I'm connected to. So some of this is conscious and a lot of it is like unconscious because as we're going about our day, in the 3D, like really I'm focused on like being fully present here. My higher self showed me people that I'm connected to. Like I have conscious connections where we've agreed verbally, non-verbally to communicate telepathically. And then also my higher self showed me people that I'm connected to, much like what Simi shared too, where they feel, we kind of this the spiral of ascension is what I call it, when you kind of when you're hitting a downward spiral, or when you get into these different states, whether it's like fear, or you have something happen to you and it drops your frequency. My higher self was showing me certain people who like kind of cut things off. Telepathy being one of those two, whether it was they weren't sure of these connections that they're having, telepathic connections, or that I saw people that were attempting to communicate with me personally, like in my field, but I wasn't open to that communication, so that communication didn't make it to me, essentially. And then also one of the things, a different frequency, is that I started asking my parallel lives. I was like, oh, like I can just talk to you telepathically, and then they like resoundingly responded yes. And then I said to my guides, I was like, can I just talk to you telepathically? And they were like, yeah. And then like all of them, there's like a whole bunch of guides that I work with, were like yes. And I was like, oh, I just like forgot. The thought never really occurred to me to be like, why don't I telepathically just communicate with all of my parallel life soul aspects? So thank you for that deep remembrance, like this, just lifting that veil of forgetting. So I'm complete. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Glenn. Yeah, I think that's a lot of us, a lot of the times, right? Like feeling ourselves and not feeling it completely, Like once we remember, it's like super easy to just be there in that moment again. It becomes that point of joy, of remembrance in a way, I guess, that we're all doing. Yeah, thanks, Simi, for sharing that. Yeah, I was brought to a lot of times myself of like just denying it. And I felt like I went back to my childhood and where I'd cut it off, like with people because of trauma that I had developed from like, you know, having just experiencing the trauma. Like, I don't need to communicate with you in that way anymore. So, yeah, like I think it's breaking that wall down or the geometry of the things that are limiting us, like that we all kind of need to like see, but not focus on, and like just bring it and let those things be dissolved for sure. Yeah, man. Practice of sovereignty for sure. It's like we all are individuals and like experiencing to experience itself through us. So we have to have those individual experiences. Like when we went uh, to the hill with the people who like the non-autistic or the autistic non-speakers. That's why they have you set up a room that's yours. That's your individuality. You can build that room to be to like hold your identity in so that you can be just that point of source, experiencing other points of source as an individual, like having that, like just a little bit of sovereignty in that aspect and knowing that you have free will within that. On that note, I think that was kind of a good spot to like kind of finish this little weaving, something to add to that for sure.
And I was reminded that I feel like I've been walking the path of remembering the telepathy for a while. Like I think it was like 5 years ago that I was in a room with a bunch of friends and like I had this thought. It was like this persistent thought, like a suggestion of something like to have us do or something, but like the conversation was still going, and so I was just waiting for a moment to jump in. But like before I could, like someone else suggested that same thing. And there have been so many different examples of kind of that same similar situation where it's like I can just put a thought into the field and someone else will pick it up and say it for me. Are you kidding? What a great way to communicate. So I think
Right.
it's great that we're kind of just walking that forward and being intentional with, calling this in and calling in the remembrance. And I think it's amazing that so many of us have been like consciously communicating with each other. And so that's a really awesome thing to witness. And so I just wanted to leave that here as just witnessing, kind of our expansion in the remembrance of the telepathy and working with it consciously and intentionally. And I think it's just beautiful. And so I'm excited to be here with you and to see what comes next with all of that. So thank you. I'm complete.
Thanks, Crystal. When you were talking about that, like that reminds me, like I've always kind of felt like I held the codes for people to unlock telepathy, and when I go to like events, I'll sit there and like physically put my thoughts out into the field of joy to like get it like ramp up that up and call in my guides to like physically start touching the hearts of the people and like using my consciousness to like I can get people on stage to like look at me telepathically and like then I fill their hearts with joy and then they just like I can just see source just start to pour through them and it's like yeah my son he does a lot of theater and so I'm always going to these shows and watching that and I like I'm able to like start weaving that into them and allowing them to feel safe in themselves and a channel source in, I can see them just like their eyes just go up and they don't even notice the audience anymore. And then just source just starts pouring through them and those codes go right out to the audience and just like the upliftment of everybody in that whole like auditorium is just amazing by the time it's done. That's a fun way to do something like that if you guys are out in public and like you want to feel that and you consciously do it. You just call in your guides. They're just waiting to like help you do this stuff. And they're just like, they get me so amped. I get a like vortex of energy just spinning around the whole auditorium. And it's just like I almost feel like I'm gonna jump out of myself at that point sometimes. So just a little fun thing to allow your inner child to be in situations like that when you're in group consciousness of that instead of like people having terrible thoughts. I just like I override all of that, especially when you get your guides flying and moving and swirling the energies all together with you. It's super fun.
I have a really stupid question. So how are you communicating with your guides if it's not telepathically?
I am communicating with them telepathically. Yes.
But like when people are like ask you, do you communicate with them telepathically? I don't understand what's the other way to communicate with them.
They can communicate with you physically, like by leaving
Oh,
things or patterns around you.
oh, I see. Okay. I gotcha. Okay. I
Yeah.
was just thinking like meditation wise.
Oh yeah, no, thank you for asking that because that's relevant to like communication with in telepathic communication with each other could even be leaving a pattern in front of somebody to witness. That's the power of like the mineral that meditation we were doing today is the power of using that mineral. We're so powerful to do that with each other and for others in our family, like and people that we know and care about for sure. Like we do that. It's kind of fun. Thank you. Anybody else have any fun things? Well, on that note of laughter,
Oh,
I
sorry, I was gonna type, but I was like, the speaking
yeah,
is faster.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, telepathically, or we all received it already. But I'm just gonna say it out loud so it materialize and in sonic way. So my guys just like want to also say when we do that and when we consciously use our telepathy, we're building pathways and like literally energetic highways and like infrastructure for others who can then ride on that. So we're expanding that highway for others so that they will feel easier. And then when they are activated, they use it and then they will build that as well. So like it really we're building like a for telepathy. So it's all really fun. And if we feel playful, we can actually co-create with our guides and any of our friends, like groups like this, to just really amp that up and just expand it all within the highest good and the greatest good of all, of course, so that it will just be in perfect alignment with what uh, the earth needs right now, what our collective needs right now, and according to individual schedule of opening up and their free will. But then it will make the whole like will make everyone a whole lot easier to access it and to open that gift so they feel safe, to feel normalized basically to do that as well. So I just want to add that in. Oh, that's super fun. And thank you so much, Vincent. Thank you everyone here. It's this is fire. I just love it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for everybody for showing up here for sure. I mean, it's awesome to me. I'm so happy. Like it brings joy to me for sure to see all of you guys. Like I feel as you're a part of my family, and like it's awesome to meet new family members sometimes. For sure.
Yeah, let's see. My internet's kind of on the fritz, but if it's aligned, I'll close this out. Thank you to everybody who shared. Um, Thank you to, I just want to say, first and foremost, deeply grateful for everybody that is here, present on this call. Super grateful for you, for your frequency, for your shares, for your channel, your energy, your vibration. Deeply grateful for that. Deeply grateful for our brothers and sisters who joined us, who aren't here in this current now moment as well. Sending deep gratitude to our guides. Deep gratitude to Vivian, the Lady at the Lake, to the crystals, the minerals, and just bringing this space to a close energetically, calling any energy back to us that is ours, any energy that was used during this call that isn't ours, calling that back, cleanse and clear, sending it into the void, into the quantum, into the 0 point to be transmuted, alchemized back to source for the greater good of all and Mama Gaia. Grounding this frequency, this energy of this call, closing the circle, closing the space. Inviting any other intentions, stated or not, remembering our personal intentions, our collective intentions for this call at this time. I'll give you some time here to think about that again. I'm super grateful for you, Vincent. Thank you for leading us. It's always aligned, super deep, high frequency. So thank you once again. And we will see everybody next week. Feel free to, channel any images or leave us any feedback. And I'll be sending the replay out here soon, okay? You guys want to unmute and say goodbye, and then we'll see everybody soon.
Thanks, Glenn. That was awesome to close out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone.
We had
You,
so much
everybody.
fun.
Thank you.
All right, ciao. Have a great night. We'll see you soon, okay?